Here we go. I'm just pretending that I know what it sounds like.
Yeah,
so
I'll join
that's all
you.
good. Yeah, sweet. Right. Sweetie, one back in the room.
Dan with a gaming flair, pixel dreams and worlds to share, joystick tales and button cues. Welcome to Gaming Views. Level up.
Hello and welcome back to Gaming Views. I'm your host, Dan H, and I'm joined as ever by my ever amazing co-host, Danny P. Today, we'll be pulling back the curtain on the things that make video games, well, video games. The stuff that's so ingrained in the experiences, we barely even notice it anymore. We're talking about the unwritten rules of the universe. We're talking about how every single protagonist is apparently a master locksmith who can pick any lock in a split second, but can't even be bothered to use a proper key. We're talking about how hiding behind inexplicably bulletproof crates for a few seconds can heal anything from a sprained ankle to bullet holes. We're talking about the fact that if you find a chest in a cave, it will inexplicably contain exactly enough gold and one health potion, even if it's been there for centuries. And we'll be talking about the universal truth that every time you see a massive glowing barrel, you just have to shoot it. And most importantly, we're talking about the most egregious of game cliches of all, the obligatory escort mission, where the person you're protecting has the combined intelligence of a rubber plant and a scared squirrel, thereby happily running directly into a hail of bullets. So buckle up, well, run, double jump and hit that respawn button and get ready for a trip down memory lane as we deconstruct the mechanics, tropes and cliches that make us both love and hate video games. Danny P, how you doing?
I was doing well until you literally crossed off everything I've got in your intro.
That's
and
okay.
Then you even got the bingo with the double jump at the end.
Do you love a double jump?
No, I'm doing very good, thank you. I'm doing very good. And peek behind the curtain here for people. So having said that we didn't record for so long, we're now recording like 2 in like 3 nights, aren't we?
We're not buses. Nothing. Yeah. Not trains, because they never turn up, but buses. And then 2 come along at once. That's a cliche. There you go. I start as we meant to go on.
There you go.
It's been a day. Right. So we recorded a couple of days ago and now we're back in the saddle again today after a monumentous weekend and a bout of some gaming, which we will get to, which I thoroughly enjoyed. And I owed an apology to a colleague at work who'd been recommending this thing to me all this time. And I've been going, yeah, it's not, and then got on it and went, oh my God, it's amazing. But let's start as we always start. Have you been playing anything in the last 3 days?
Yeah. Well, that's funny. You laugh, but you said, "Oh no, should we skip this bit because we haven't been playing?" I said,
True.
"Well, we played this. I've played this," and then you said, "Oh, and I've also been playing this." So we probably played more than we have. Yes. So, well, we played. We'll come on to it. So we played some HellDivers.
Oh my God,
which
it's
was
so
good fun.
It's so good.
We'll talk about that. But the other thing, I literally started a couple of nights ago, my yearly playthrough of Mass Effect.
Yes.
Because I do play it every year. And actually, just a shout out now to the Game Club Pod boys. So their episode will have gone out a week now, but they did a thanks, I hate it. I suggested Mass Effect to them and I got Joey to like Mass Effect 2.
Wow.
Which,
okay.
yeah, that inspired me. And also because we might have something down the road about it. So yeah, playing Mass Effect.
Do you always play A1 or do you do like the one year, then one another year? Or is it always the first?
No, I play the trilogy.
Oh, you every year?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I love it.
Where do you find time to do that? I mean, if I was doing that, I'd never play any other games.
Well, the thing is, by this point, I'm literally just hitting all the beats I have to.
Yeah.
You know
it so well, man.
So I can probably complete it because I'm not getting lost in the Citadel, or I'm not getting, and I know what I need to do for the suicide mission.
Nice.
So you're kind of playing it on a speed run almost, but. Yeah, no, I love it. And HellDivers, so we might as well say, so it was you, me, Alex and Joey.
It was indeed. Yeah, it was so good. And as I mentioned, I've got a colleague of mine at work, Gary. Hi, Gary. He plays this religiously and he can tell me all of the, things that you do and all the planets and all the different missions and all this sort of stuff. So every time I catch up with him on a one-to-one or at work, we always happens to get a mention. He's a bit like you with Mass Effect, but with HellDivers. And he's a PC player like Alex and Joey. And he's always, singing its praises. And I'm always like, I tried it. It was a bit rubbish because I was sad and lonely. But jumping on with it with 3 friends is just an incredible experience, and it's so good. It's so
It's
good.
just because it's more boom as well, right? You've got more
it's
boom,
more
and you
boom.
can all laugh at each other.
Yeah, but those guys are. I mean, I'm assuming they've been playing it for quite a while, and they're able to call down cool things like little mechs for me to jump into and
exosuits.
and it's just. It's
Well, they
just
also
insane.
Find it easier to kill us because they're bringing down all these super stratagems, and you and I have got like a little. Although I think I went a bit crazy with some napalm.
Napalm is not my friend. Yeah, I think I played for about 30 seconds before you destroyed me with napalm, and it just went, Dan P has killed you, and I'm like, thanks.
And just to call him out, I think in our first game, Joey got 147,000 points of friendly fire damage. So I think he got all of us at that point. So.
We were all steadily reducing as we got used to being with each other. And his first go was just like, I'm just going to get everybody.
But it's good fun, isn't it? And like you said, it's a true multiplayer, like co-op game. And we went for a walk yesterday morning and you called it out that they were on PC, you were on PlayStation, I was on Xbox, and it ran flawlessly, didn't it?
It ran wonderfully. And what shocked me the most about this, and I forgot to tell you afterwards, my PlayStation 5 currently lives in a little media unit with glass doors on the front, old school style. And when I went after you guys had left, I stayed on and looked at some stratagems and ships and stuff. And I was like, I'll just go and turn it off. So I went to open, and I could barely touch the glass door. The console had superheated. I'm surprised it hadn't melted.
Wow.
It superheated the inside of the thing, and it sounded like a jet taking off. And I was like, I'm going to have to move my PlayStation.
And you thought that was the game sound effects.
I'm going to have to move my PS5 now, otherwise it's going to just melt into a puddle. Yeah. So that was something, because it is quite GPU hungry. One observation I would make about it though is, I think it's a phenomenal example of a AA game done right. Do you know what I mean? It's not a AAA game. It's not polished. It's not, I mean, all the shit they throw at Halo to make it shiny and, the multiplayer amazing. It's just pure fun based in madness. And it's just AA done right. And I love that about it. I genuinely love that about it.
Yeah. I mean, having it on the Xbox is a year down the line, so I don't know at launch, but it's nicely polished, no issues. So I don't know on launch, but
apart from robots appearing above my head and just collapsing on the ground, that was quite funny at one point. But yeah, I think that's part of the fun.
Yeah, well, and someone trying to respawn me, I think, outside the map, I think it was at one point, or at least in some napalm. So yeah, we know who you are, Joey. Yeah. Right. So
let's see.
But yeah,
I'm counting.
Yeah. Ding,
ding.
His name might come up after, actually. So yeah, and I think you said you've been playing some.
I just yesterday I had a little bit of downtime. I played a little bit more Gears Reloaded, which I thoroughly enjoying. It's that nostalgia hit, and it's just it looks lovely. It runs smooth as butter, and it's just so much fun. And it will come up actually in our episode today, just some of the stuff it's introduced, and I'm just thoroughly enjoying it. The cutscenes are a little bit jaded and a little bit tired now, but the gameplay, amazing. Love it.
That's a funny thing you say about things like that. So even like the Mass Effect remaster, compared to the first, I remember when I played the Legendary Edition, because that's one I play now, for the first time, I thought, Mass Effect 1 really does look good, but you can't get past, if it's not a complete remaster, you can't get past, games. They can never get past the jankiness of some of the history they've got, or the legacy. And I love it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's not, it's very, the one thing I would say about Gears is it's very of its age. Do you know what I mean? It is that, very masculine alpha male, deep voiced, it's just very funny from that perspective. But I gameplay wise, I can't fault it. It's so good as a cover shooter. I'm just really enjoying it.
Well, I'll get round to it at some point as well. But
and we'll do some MP on that as well, because guy.
Yeah, I just keep doing the is it the roadie run with
the rodeo one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I used to keep doing. I just love it.
It's just so funny.
It's a cool animation.
It's so bad, like trying to steer that. You can't steer. I mean, when I run, I can generally move, but yeah, like you're literally trying. It's like trying to move an oil tanker on the road you run, like just running into things and getting into cover because I'm holding down a button. And what I'd forgotten about Gears, the original Gears, is you don't have to hold the button and rev the chainsaw to do the melee. You literally just press B with the chainsaw while you're near someone. And I kept forgetting that and going, why aren't I? And then I realised I just need to hold down B button and it worked. Then that's all I did.
I will look forward to playing this because I remember I got to Gears of War quite late. So I think I got my Xbox a couple of years after it was out, 360. Then there was all other, ironically, good games I wanted to play, like Mass Effect, GTA, Bioshock. Didn't get to Gears of War till quite late on. And I remember borrowing it off a friend of ours. And just then, because I'd avoided the hype. Did you borrow it off Thomas? No, it was another one. Leighton.
Leighton,
yeah. And I borrowed it off him. And I think I was past all the hype, and I just remember completing it because I wanted to give it back to him, not hold on for ages. So I don't think I really enjoyed playing it. And all I remember thinking was, well, it's a very brown game, isn't it? It was all, is it brown and grey?
It was always very brown and grey because it was that, how did Cliffy B call it? Destroyed Beauty or something like that, he called it, didn't he? Because there was that Mad World song that went with it, and there was, that was all part of the hype. But they've actually done a really good job of removing some of that graphically from the reloaded edition, so it looks a lot more pretty and shiny, weirdly, which is a bit off-putting in some respects because it's not as.
Because that's the weird thing. If we look at some games like Last of Us, I mean, that's also in a devastated world, isn't it? But that's very colourful, isn't it? Or from what I remember, at least parts of it, like
there's lots of flora and fauna, and because it's all overgrown. And
we just want, I've forgotten what the enemies in Gears of War, we want them all sort of dressed up in nice, colourful.
Yeah, just, put on a little pink dress or, just.
We want a bit of colour, yeah. Well, but that was it. I remember that was my abiding memory, and I was thinking, it felt good. It played well. Like you said, the shooting was, what's the word, satisfying. So there are certain games where the controls are satisfying, but I just remember I just passed the hype. So I think this gives me the opportunity now to approach it like a new game, that fresh coat of paint, and just enjoy it. And I never played it co-op.
Because I played it quite a lot originally, was muscle memory and the active reload. As soon as I started playing it, no word of a lie, I was like, I know the distance between, only for the Lancer mainly, because they all differ slightly, but for the Lancer, the active reload, I know off by heart. So I'm like, click, click. And I got.
Well, that's something that's going to come up on my list today, actually.
Cool.
So.
All right, we'll go into it. But that, because there's an achievement for getting 25 sweet spots. And I got my first 25 reloads. I did it. Like instantly, I was a joy to do. But I love that game. I absolutely love it. So I'll be playing some more of that. Other than that, I haven't really played anything else. And I think, we haven't had time. And now, just listeners won't care, but I'm not going to have the opportunity to play anything because I am literally in my office now, surrounded by my entire digital collection in the world. So that includes my PlayStation 5, my Xbox, my Switch 2, my soundbar, everything is here in this office. So if you're going to rob me, do it now because it'll be really easy. You won't have to hunt around for shit because we're having the lounge done. So
you won't leave that room if everything's in there.
Well, it's not plugged in, Dan. It's all just sitting on the side of everything. So I'm surrounded and got nothing to play. The Switch 2 is about the only thing I could probably access, to be fair. So until Saturday probably, and then even not then because the sofas don't come till next week. So I don't sit on the floor and
sit on the Xbox 360. That's quite not 360. It's Series X. Yeah,
Right. Let's do it. Let's crack on. Right. So we are going to do a little ad for Talking Smack. So let's roll that and then we'll get into it.
Hey, Josh, I'm finally ready to do something fun every Wednesday.
Alex, finally. We're going to talk superheroes, movies, animation, comics, and much, much more, right?
Yes, but we're also going to talk Star Trek.
Make it so, my friend. Catch Talking Smack every Wednesday on your podcatcher of choice. We will see you there, Smackheads.
Awesome. Right. I love those guys. I do need to listen to more of their stuff, to be honest. I know they cover lots and there's cats involved. So maybe I've just got an aversion to it. But if you do get the opportunity, go and listen to them because they cover a broad range of topics and they're really good guys. Yeah, very, very cool. Right. Today we are talking about 3 primary things. So we're going to talk about mechanics and we're going to talk about video game tropes and we're going to talk about some cliches. And weirdly, some of these fit into things that actually we don't mind and some of them fit into things that are just aggravating and a bit frustrating. So where do we want to start? Tropes.
Yeah, tropes is probably easiest. And this is the thing I was going to say as well. It's like, it might feel at times like it might be bashing games, but I think it's just once you've got a history of gaming, you can kind of see what's being used and it's just calling it out really, isn't it? It's
man,
having
everything
a bit
else
of
is
fun.
good and bad. It's not, it's not, it's, and not, these aren't necessarily bad. And a little bit later, I've got a bit of a list of, things that have done it really well and things that have kind of gone, why did you do that?
Again, I think it's just celebrating what makes gaming games, right? Or games.
100% right. And when I talk about tropes, I'm talking about kind of the narrative tropes, the things that kick a game off, the things that spiral you into whatever you're doing. And we'll talk around that. So look, should we start with the obvious one, which is the chosen one?
Yep.
Because it's in almost every game you play, right? It's just, there's always... Well, all right, a lot of it's RPGs, I guess, but it's
mostly good. Yeah,
it's mostly RPGs, isn't it? The chosen ones, and there's
a lot of these tropes. I think are going to be RPGs as well.
So, in fairness, but I haven't got Football Manager. Sorry,
the greatest
RPG according to Dan in our RPG episode.
Go back and find out why I said it. I'm not wrong.
I'm still not in agreement, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't play it, to be fair. I'm not, Anyway, right. So tropes. The chosen one. It's a bit laboured, isn't it? I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah. And lucky it's always you, though.
Well, you are. It's always me. I'm always the chosen one. Do you know what game I think did it particularly well? And I think it's mainly down to the ending. I don't know if you ever got around to playing it, but Dragon's Dogma 2.
Oh, no, I've not played that. No.
Right. So, again, trope, prophesized, chosen one, and you kind of find out through a series of incidents. I won't spoil it here for the game. But actually, when you get to the end game, you get a choice that makes it relevant. You can be the chosen one, or you can go, screw it, let everything get destroyed and still continue to play into the end game, which is a nice, it's not like, oh, I don't want to do it. And, and then it's like, oh, game over. And I think a lot of the RPGs, even your favorite Mass Effect, you're almost playing as, and it's not described as such, but you are almost the chosen one. You're the hero, you're shepherd out to save the galaxy, right?
Yeah. What's funny about Mass Effect is because you already start off as a commander, a grizzled war veteran, So it's not that you are the lowly person who rises up, but you are the one person that manages to defeat like a race of
this entire armada and fleet of people, just you.
Absolutely. And, you're the one, it's always you. I mean, I keep joking when I play it that you're the busiest errand boy in the galaxy because it's only you that can do these.
The only person.
Yeah. But yeah, this is, and I get why they have to do this, right? Because it puts the onus on you and it gives you the reason for playing that game and the excitement, I guess.
Yeah.
But it is always, like if you look at the ones that do it funnily is the Elder Scrolls, right? Because you've got Oblivion where you're in the sewers and you're the one that has to escape.
The king, you save the king. Well, you don't save the king, actually, ironically.
No, but you're the one that ends up with the king, in that whole prison, Skyrim as well, isn't it? You start off on that cart.
Skyrim I had is not so bad as a trope. Yes, it is. But I think they do that quite well, the whole Dragonborn prophecy. And I think that I like the way that plays it. It doesn't feel egregious. It doesn't feel laboured. It feels more natural in the progression in Skyrim. And so I don't mind it. So I think, Todd Howard and the team probably learnt their lessons from being a bit of a, oh God, not again. So I don't mind Skyrim so much. Plus Fusto Ra. I mean.
Yeah. I guess it's kind of like Neo in the Matrix, isn't it? What we're saying, because he was just an office worker who then gets that call, and
but he had
and
the
then
anagram in his name as well. So
well, yeah, there you go. Sure, yeah,
Mr. Anderson. Not that name, Neo.
But can I mix one in with this one?
You can go nuts, mate. There is no rules.
No cliches, tropes, or
nothing is off the pitch.
I'll see your chosen one, but I'll add in the memory loss, the amnesia.
Oh, it's such a goodie. Yeah. Such a goodie.
Who am I? Well, you just turn out to be either the biggest villain or the biggest hero in the galaxy.
Always a hero. Always a hero. Do you know what? I got slightly frustrated. I was doing a bit of research on this, and I'd forgotten. And I don't know if you ever played the original Witcher game.
No, I never did.
Yeah,
no.
so Witcher 3 took over as a hot topic and everyone. But in the original Witcher game, and I don't know why CD Projekt Red did this. I assume it was, I know why they did this. But effectively, at the beginning of the Witcher game, the original, you have amnesia. So Geralt of Rivia, one of the most famous protagonists in fantasy, has amnesia, all because they want you to learn how to swing a sword and move. So you're like, I've forgotten how to do things. So someone's teaching you, you go, don't you remember how to do this stuff? And you go, oh yeah, I remember now. But the thing that's frustrating about it is within about 30 minutes, it's not part of the story anymore. No one ever mentions it again. So you're like, I had amnesia. I'm fine now. I remember you've pressed the button a couple of times. I'm all right.
But again, it's the amount of times you start a game and it's like, oh, my character doesn't know who they are or why they've woken up there. And I guess, it kind of linking into what you said, another one. Sorry, I know I'm probably barreling ahead here.
You barrel.
Is Red Barrel ahead. Yeah, where you forget, or between each game, you lose all your powers and skills.
There's a name for that, isn't there? Tim mentioned it on one of the guys on a GCP.
Yeah, or did they make their own? They probably made their own name up for it.
I think there's a specific term for it, and I can't remember what it is. But that happens in a lot of games. That even happens in my favourite Half-Life. At one point, you get taken down when you go through the Assassin's mission. You get taken down, and then you get two guards dragging you to a trash compactor that you have to escape out of, and you've lost all your weapons. So you have to re-find everything. So, it even happens in amazing, brilliant, best game ever games.
Yeah, but it's not
Balatro.
Apparently.
Balatro. It's like it's like the Arkham games, right?
Yes.
Again, I mean, I'm Batman. Batman doesn't lose his toys. He doesn't lose his toys. Why are you forcing me to lose my toys at the start of the game?
It is a bit mad. Do you know what goes one stage further though?
What's that?
Sequels that do it. So
I think that's what I'm talking about. Sorry, no, that's what I mean, especially with the Arkham games.
Oh, right.
Because you spent the whole game. You spent the whole game
leveling up. And you go, look at me. I'm I'm next to God. And then you go to the next game, you go, where did all those stuff I just learned?
Did Batman, did Bruce Wayne have a clear out sale or something?
It's not even the toys. His whole combat system that you've leveled up everything.
He's been on holiday for a couple of weeks.
He comes back and he's like, I can't remember how to throw a punch. Can you just add a skill point there and I might remember how that works?
Yeah. I mean, I think we get jaded by some of the things we've already said because we played a long time. Like, did you ever play Knights of the Old Republic?
I did. I wasn't very successful at it. So I think it was one of those games I played for about half an hour and went, I don't really enjoy this. And then suddenly everyone went, this is amazing. And I never went back to it. I wish I might pick up again.
It's one I haven't played for years and years and years, but it's a great RPG. But again, spoilers for a game that's 20 years old at least. I can't remember when it came out. That I think was a bit of a chosen one, but also you were revealed to be a major character at the end of it. So I won't say it exactly, but it held it quite well as a secret. Whereas I think nowadays, even in films, like I know my wife, when we're watching a film or program, she's always trying to guess what the ending's going to be. And I think we're kind of in that age now where we're trying to see what's happening. Whereas me, I don't, I want to be oblivious and
just
kind of
enjoy the ride, right? And but there were a couple of examples of games that do the amnesia thing quite well. And ironically, one of them has it in its title, which is, and I haven't played this, I must admit, but I've read a lot of stuff about it, which was Amnesia: Dark Descent. It's a trope that is by design built into it, and therefore it's part of the story, part of you recovering your memories as you play through this, for this horror. So, there's that. And then there's one that I did start, but haven't got very far into, was Disco Elysium.
Okay.
Which you start off as an Amnesia, but mainly because you've been on a massive bender. So you've basically just built blind drunk and can't remember what's going on at the beginning of it. So, there are games that use this to their advantage and play really well. And then there are others that just use it as a mechanic for either building your skill set again or training you or, whatever it is, which just feels a bit lazy.
Lazy. Yeah. I guess how do you build the agency into a player if you start off overpowered? But I think, like you said, do it properly. Like Mass Effect 2, you start off with Shepard getting destroyed, right? He dies ultimately, and they rebuild him. So you can kind of guess in that sense why maybe he's starting from scratch a little bit.
Or even one we mentioned last week, like Black Myth. The way that does that, you start off as that completely overpowered god type. But there's a reason, and that is your training. But the reason you get struck down is part of the story. They throw you back to earth, and you're, now this, weak kind of have to build everything up. So use it in a better, like you say, that gives agency to the character and makes it a part of your journey rather than just going, like the Witcher thing was just fucking lazy. It's like, he's never been an amnesiac, It's like, don't make that just so
too much grog.
Too much grog. Not to mention the fucking game was rubbish, to be honest. I mean, the first Witcher wasn't very good. So don't go and play it. I don't care.
So digress. The only thing I remember about the first Witcher game, and I remember you playing it because we were working together at the time, and I remember you saying it. And I remember this clearly. You telling me that there's a Easter egg about, don't you see Altair dead in a haystack somewhere?
Yes, in one of the You
and
do.
that stayed with me.
I can't remember if that's Witcher. It might have been Witcher 2. I think it's one of the villages.
Oh, it might be 2. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're going to come up later.
A lot.
I had that.
Yeah.
One, just quickly on the Chosen one again, one of the ones that I really loved and does it really well, but is very meta about it, is Fable. And has always been very meta about it because you are always the Chosen one, but you're always calling out the fact that, and the whole story is about you being the Chosen one. And I'm just genuinely hoping that the next one done by Playground Games does that as well.
But this is what we said in the last episode, I think, about HellDivers, is that if you're going to make fun of something or have fun with something, go all in, because if you try to be serious about it, then it comes off silly. But if you're all in on it, then you can get in on the fun, and it's like, oh, there's a little slide wink there, not a wink there, and that makes it more fun as the player, the consumer.
The other trope that I had, which is one that many games that we like are also super guilty of, is the thirst for revenge. Where a game starts off and you're like, oh, my family's been murdered. Oh, someone's been hurt. And you're just an unnecessary excuse to go and commit violence. Yeah. If someone hurt one of my kids, of course I'd want to do something about it. Of course I'd want to, go and pay back. But I'm not going to go and load up on as many weapons as I can and level up as much as I can to go and do it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, or I might just let the law do it, for legal purposes. But in video game land, no. If someone hurts yours, you're going to go and murder 1 million people to get to that person.
You're going to carry 50 guns in that small pocket of yours, or that little case. And
don't get me started on inventory management yet, Dan.
Like an entire army. Do you know what? You're right, actually. I hadn't thought of that, because tropes, I've got probably more sort of things around mechanics, but the one game, when you were saying that stood out in my mind as, again, being both tongue-in-cheek and doing it slightly differently, is, my word, I'm going back a bit. On the Amiga, I had a game on the Three Stooges.
Oh my God. Right. Larry Curly Moe.
Yeah. So that game, it's ultimately, the game itself isn't necessarily brilliant. It's just some mini games. But it starts off, so imagine some like old timey organ music, and there's an orphanage. The banker comes along, with the moustache and the cigar over the top, and he's basically foreclosing them, and he's saying, right, you've got 30 days to make the money. So you as the Three Stooges then do these mini games to make money up. But I was thinking it's the revenge thing, or not the revenge thing, but they're the chosen ones, and they've got to do something to stop something bad happening. But it's the only game I can remember where it's doing it almost slightly in a comic way rather than my entire village has been slaughtered and now I'm going to take down the entire army of a nation with just me, you know.
I think it's almost every Assassin's Creed game. I can't think of one that isn't. Even in Mirage, you know, it's like something happens and someone dies, and then you're like, I'm going to go and join Assassins. That's what I'm going to do. You know, not I'm going to work through the justice system and see if I can get someone arrested for this. No, I'm going to become an assassin. Shadows, you know, same thing. Even the most recent one, Valhalla, same thing.
Ezio.
Ezio was the same. Like all of his three. I did it. Well, certainly his first one, that's what set him off. And he took 3 games to commit his murders.
Yeah. Yeah, they couldn't contain it to the one chapter.
No, we do have to put out. This is not a stomach game. We did genuinely love games. You can watch all of our.
I love the Ezio. I love the Ezio trilogy.
Yeah, and it is one of the better ones. But these things are just things that make us chuckle as we go through them, and it won't stop us playing. It won't stop us doing it. But yeah, trigger warning. You might get pissed off by the stuff that comes out. So yeah, thirst for revenge. I mean, who doesn't need that? I mean, Call of Duties don't need an excuse for 5 minutes. Blow shit up.
Yeah, I think this one is another absolute classic, isn't it? Especially in gaming. I mean, like I said, you know, I think it's just when you play games for like more than 5 years, you can just see them, and it's just the way things are dressed up. And I love seeing how they've taken a well-worn theme.
Yeah.
And tried to make it different. I mean, the Thirst for Revenge, if you've ever lost out in the final game of a season in Football Manager, that next season is
that like the RPG bit, is it?
Yeah. You'll raise that fist, clenched fist, and say, I'm going to win.
Dylan buying it. You keep going. Go on. Get what's the Amnesia one for Football Manager?
You forget the last season you had where you got relegated and
isn't that just football?
And got sacked. Yeah, no, that didn't happen.
Chosen one? Oh, I guess you are the chosen one.
What happened in your last position? Don't remember.
Don't remember. Nothing bad.
Yeah.
Did you have any other tropes?
No, I guess, you know, and these, I think equally what we're talking about could apply to films, right? If you think about it, because they walk a thin line. But being double crossed by a character, Call of Duty, I know it happens, but yeah, there's always that character that turns on you, etc.
Something to push the narrative forward. Yeah. Oh, he was a bad guy all along, or she was a bad guy all along, you know. Yeah. They almost become cliches, which we will talk about. We'll do that last because, I think the next one's quite fun. And I think when we talk about game mechanics, because there's so many examples of amazing game mechanics that have changed the face of gaming and just made it. But then there's so many that have just been inadvertently overused and kind of become seeing that done again, or it's done really badly. One of my pet hates in most games, actually. And I have struggled to think of one where I've enjoyed it is quick time events. Or QTEs, as they used to be called.
QTEs, yeah.
Drive me nuts. I mean, mainly because my hand-eye coordination is appalling, right? Which is one of the reasons I stopped playing COD multiplayer. But I just can't. I can't press the fucking... Give me an out. I don't want to press the buttons.
If there is anyone out there listening who doesn't know what it is, it was a way of introducing a little bit of, again, excitement into a game where you would have to press a sequence of like directional inputs or button movements to match what was on the screen, right? I detest these. Well, what I will say is I don't mind them if they're ones that it's not so much a quick time event, but say you've got to lift something up or open a door, you know, if you've got to mash the X button. I don't get what it wants from me because you're going to take my eye off the screen or you're taking me out of what's happening. Just play it as a cutscene. I'd much rather see my character do that than jab at some buttons. And the one that really, again, sticks out in my mind, and I'm going back some years now, probably to 2002, 2003, something like that. David Cage game, Indigo Prophecy or Fahrenheit.
Hey, that David Cage. Yes, sorry,
Yeah. I mean, generally his games anyway, but it was a great game. The story went proper insane.
Right.
But the game was then full of ultimately these quick time events. And I'll never get there's one where you're being chased by, and this can sound weird, like these alien mutant bug things. And there was a lot of dramatic stuff happening on the screen. I could see it, but just out the corner of my eye, because I was having to play like a Simon Says game with the buttons. And either let me run away from them, let me fight them, or just play out what you're saying, because I can't see what's happening. And it looked like it was bloody epic, right?
Yeah. But I'm not paying attention to that. I'm looking at the corner of the screen where it's all the ones where they move around the screen, and you're like, now you don't want me to focus on one thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what wound me up? And maybe misintentionally, and I fully suspect there are people screaming at this and going, no, that's not what it was meant for. And I do know what it was meant for, but in Assassin's Creed Shadows, fucking really drove me insane. So one of the ways to get skill points is to meditate. As no way, I think the female assassin. So you go to certain points in the game and you meditate. And the way you meditate is it's essentially a quick time event. So you've got 4 points and a little arrow that goes around, and you press them in time. So, A, B, X, Y, whatever it is. And as you do that, the indicator and the buttons that you press gradually fade. So you're left doing them without seeing them, meant to put you in a meditative state because you're going, oh, I'm now Zen because I know which ones are. But they become so complex with not just A, B, X, Y in a different order, but with left, right on the D-pad, or that you just go, there is an auto win on them. Don't get me wrong. If you do it so many times, it does. But the point that is meant to put you in, one of the most frustrating elements of a video game is meant to make you meditate. It just makes me want to throw my controller through the screen. Thank you.
Like I said, I can probably see why they introduced it originally, is to make you feel a little bit involved in these. They probably wanted to get away from feeling like you're watching a Metal Gear Solid cutscene, right? Yeah. Sort of 45 minutes long. But I mean, they're not as bad as they used to be. I don't think they're anywhere.
I think people realised
be,
very quickly it was just a massive way to frustrate the player, because especially the ones that walled you off. Because if you couldn't get through it, it was instant death. And you're like, in Resident Evil 4, one of the knife fights or something, it was a QT event. And it was like, there was no instant win. You were just like, you can either do it or you can't go past. And I actually didn't mind them in there.
But it's also, they come out of nowhere sometimes. So it might have been like a couple of hours since the last one. So you're getting sucked into the story. And all of a sudden, and you think, shit, because I've put my controller down, or I've like allowed myself to get absorbed by the cutscene. And all of a sudden, shit.
There was one that stood out, and I don't remember this so much, but it was one from 2008 or 2012, but it was one of the Tomb Raider games that someone had mentioned when I was doing research, and I'll have to go back and look, but someone had mentioned that they had been so frustrated by it, and a lot of people have been so frustrated by the quick time events in Tomb Raider that a lot of people have just given up and not bothered playing it anymore because they were so frustrating.
The reboot, the reboot? I say reboot, but it's like the 10 years ago. It feels like, yeah. No, the thing about those, it's probably not going to fit in anywhere, was just the over gratuitous death scenes in that game. Yeah, it was something. Yeah, but that's for another episode.
Yeah, we can do one of those as well.
Gratuitous death scenes. Yeah.
I've got another couple. I don't know if you've got any you want to call out from a mechanics perspective. Oh, I've got tons.
Mechanics. One of the cool ones. I mean, a lot of games do it now, but it's like the time manipulation. So Braid did it. I mean, if we go back, Prince of Persia, I guess, didn't it?
Yep.
Did some racing games like Forza Motorsport in a weird one, but yeah, Braid was, for me anyway, the first game that it wasn't just a way of rewinding time to undo a mistake, but it was actually you had to do it to progress in the game. And now we see a lot of games do a similar thing, use a similar mechanic.
Yeah, that rewind or fast forward through time. I do love games that bring something different, and Braid was one of those ones that introduced something that no one had really done before and got a lot of kudos for it because it was that good. And I think that was another one that was a single coder, right? It was just one guy who built that. Yeah, and it was phenomenal. If you haven't played Braid, go and check it out because it is a great puzzle platformer type game, but with that element of time manipulation. It became a thing more than just for simple mechanics like that. It became an integral part of a lot of stories. Titanfall 2, I mean, one of the best levels in that game was all about time manipulation.
Yeah,
but it was that one instant of it. It didn't carry through the entire game. It was just that one thing, and it was so good. You went to investigate a research lab that had been looking at time travel, and essentially you had to, and it was done so well. Games that do that are just brilliant, that can introduce something and kind of just use it and then kind of almost throw it away. Are just brilliant.
Because the thing about Titanfall 2 as well is a lot of games will do, like horror games will do like the ghost world or the other world and the present world. Like Silent Hill does it, right? So you expect it.
Medium did it. That was Bloober Team's one they did on the Xbox.
But Titanfall 2, that kind of was unexpected because the first game was just a multiplayer sort of shooter. This game, ultimately, Titanfall 2 was a shooter, but then it introduced that weird sci-fi element to it. And like you said, and just discards it after.
Dishonored had another, or Dishonored 2, I can't remember which one it was, had the mansion, which had the time travel element, which was very similar to Titanfall, but again, done in a different way, a throwaway mechanic that was introduced for a single level, brilliantly done, like just poetically done. But, you know, that time travel element's been done so well. And sometimes it's almost used as a mechanic amongst other things, isn't it? You can, you know, that's not the only thing in your arsenal, but rewinding is, or, you know, rewinding as a failure. Returnal does it, you know, on the PlayStation. You know, it's thrown in with other stuff to just mix it up. And I really enjoyed that. I think, you know, you're right. That is a brilliant addition of things. And one that goes hand in hand with that was actually introduced with Max Payne was Bullet Time. Yeah. So that became, you know, slowing down. And how many games do you see that in now? Yeah.
Max Payne, what a game. Yeah.
They're remaking it as well. Or they're making a fourth one or a fifth one or whatever it is.
Feels like that deserves one. I guess on time as well, we're seeing recently as well, like the time loop game come in. So there was one, 12 seconds is the one that jumps to mind. Yeah, the one where you are living that same bit over and over again. And
what was the murder one? There was one with a murder, wasn't it? Where that happened in an apartment and you're seeing it from top down.
I think that's 12
Is that 12 seconds,
yeah. Or 12 minutes, maybe 12 minutes. 12 seconds might be quite quick.
Yeah. Might be a quick game. Probably one for reviews.
Yeah, that was the demo. 12 seconds was the demo.
Was it? Oh, it's finished.
Oh, I've got a couple of other ones, actually. Again, something it feels like in recent years is like the narrator. Now, they can either be sarcastic or not. So sarcastic, you've got the Stanley Parable, which I think done it brilliantly. And you've also got... Was it Bastion was the first one for me. It was, I think it was like an isometric action adventure game. And what you did, the narrator narrated it as you did it, I think.
I remember Bastion.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'd forgotten about that. It was the isometric action game with you had a sword and you, yeah.
But I think the narrator said, I mean, ultimately there was only so much you could do, but the narrator was saying what you did as you did it rather than saying it and then you followed it. But I think the Stanley Parable is one of the only ones actually I think has done it where you can go against the narrator, isn't it? I mean, have you played the Stanley?
I haven't played Stanley Parable.
Oh,
no.
Mate.
Is it good?
Do it. It's funny. It's not like an in-depth game, but it's funny. It's funny. So all I'll say is you've got a narrator saying something like he'll say like Stanley got up and walked through the door on his left. So you can even not do anything and he'll go, Stanley got up and walked through the door on his left. You could go through it, or you could do the right one. And as you're doing it, he's getting more and more annoyed and things.
I like that. I'm gonna have to get that game. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, so it's doing something different and almost having a laugh at the established norm of games, I guess. Yeah. The only other one I had was games that either manipulate save files or use your save files.
There's some good examples of that though, right?
Metal Gear Solid and even Doki Doki Literature Club. I don't know if you've played that.
Doesn't sound like my sort of bag, but...
It's one of those visual novels. But that, I think, I'll be honest, I needed some guidance on that. But to do part of it or to see part of the game, you actually then have to go in and delete some files. Or I think if you're on the PC, you actually, because I'm on the Xbox, on the PC, you had to go in and delete some of the game files something. So again, it's just... breaking that fourth wall and bringing you as a player into the game more.
I mean, I had save games, but purely because as a mechanic, prior to Legend of Zelda, back in the 80s, it didn't even have save games. You know, every game is a one and done. So, even that it doesn't, I guess it doesn't classify as a specific mechanic, but it is something that without which...
I guess we take it for granted now. Yeah.
Totally. I mean, I've got some others that the first game to ever do it was Super Mario 64, but a fully rendered 3D camera, which we take for granted now. But as a mechanic in a game, being able to go through 60 random characters, see everything going on is just, if you didn't have that, you'd be stuck behind. You think your Resident Evils from a single camera angle, as they were, But then everyone took it on and suddenly you had fully rendered 3D worlds everyone was playing in. One of our favourites, the despicable guys over at WB, pissed us off about, which is the Nemesis system.
Yeah, we discussed that briefly last week, I think.
Yeah,
didn't
we talked about Judas. Bringing back something very similar in Ken Levine and his latest gig, but as a system, was brilliant. Like as a mechanic, kind of beating up an enemy or thinking you killed an enemy, only for them to come back, 10 times as strong with an army of followers, 2 hours later. It was just a joy. You never knew what was going to happen.
That I really want, and I want that in games, and I want that advanced. Yeah, like if you defeat someone and let them go, they come back pissed at you, or they run away from you when you next see them. That's kind of. I think I said it last week, but I'll say it again. It's like graphics are pretty much at the point where they're going to be for a bit now, and sort of scope of games, but it's games that can do the little. Well, I'll say little. I just reduced it to a thing like that. But it can do the innovative or do something different. That's what's going to capture my imagination
all day long. And I think that's why we love some of the more indie focused developers or AA games, because they are the ones that aren't afraid to take a chance to do it. And we will talk about some of the bigger ones that do more cliche driven things where you're kind of like, again. Procedural generation. Now, probably one of the biggest and best that did it was Minecraft, obviously, but then you have No Man's Sky, which is just like Star Systems is the stuff. But again, as a mechanic, I know there were games, even as early as kind of the late 80s and early 90s that did procedural generation, but to introduce it as a part of a game, and now you've got an entire part of the industry in roguelikes that focus on that. You never go in the same room with the same pattern twice. It's like shuffling a deck of cards. You'll always go through something different. That whole idea of building a game around that mechanic is just a little bit genius. And there's some great games that do that, like Dead Cells and things like that, where you're always going through different areas. Portal guns in Portal, not used as much, but again, I'm surprised they based the whole game on it, but then there's nothing that Steam don't do that isn't without direction. They're always looking to advance the next thing. But, that game was just game changing when it came out, because you're like, I can put something there and appears and then use it as a
really
puzzle
cool
thing.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Cool.
That was brilliant. I remember at the time I wasn't really into puzzle games, but I had to get that.
Yeah, and even better, it came as part of Orange Box, right? I mean,
yeah.
And we talked about it earlier, but Titanfall 2, not just that time mechanic, but Titanfall, in fairness, with the wall running and everything, but Titanfall 2, to take that and make it a single player game and be able to enter and exit your mech and be just as good a game outside of the mech as it was in the mech, and then to use those two components across a map or across a level, it's just phenomenal. Such a good game. And I'm so devastated that they canned Titanfall 3 or any part of that. It was such a good series. A good series. And I've played it 2 or 3 times now, that game, because I enjoyed it so much.
The original, I remember it being an online only. I still, that was one of the few games I did enjoy playing, like online
so
shooters.
Good. Calling down your mech and running to it, being able to jump in it was just brilliant. Yeah. We talked about this one earlier. Gears of War cover system.
Yes, yeah.
Not just the roadie run, but that cover, sticky cover, being able to then click a button to move to the next cover or roll around to your next one. That, just made that something so special.
Well, I'm going to bring that in my cliches later, or tropes, but
they're not just unique to one, right? They can be many, right? But as a mechanic that games hadn't really. I think there was one. I remember there being one that was talked a lot about at the time, maybe preceded Gears of War, and it was almost a third person military shooter that did cover mechanics, and it was set in like Dubai in a sandstorm or something like that.
Oh yes, really good. And I've forgotten it.
Yeah, but that did a similar thing with the cover, but didn't have the it had sticky cover, but you couldn't like drop to other cover and move around or hop over. So it was
Mass Effect 2 did it, and Mass Effect 2 wears the Gears of War sort of badge on its shoulders a lot. Yeah. When you first played that did it. Well, you can see in a lot of games now, even the latest Mafia game is kind of got that cover base, and you can jump from cover to cover.
Yeah, and they've all taken it from somewhere, right? Because it had to come from somewhere. But as a mechanic, it just works really, really well. I guess the only other one I had, which actually goes back to Silicon Knights, who we've talked about before in here, was Eternal Darkness, and its sanity meter.
Yes, yeah.
Which is used not prolifically now, but there are other games that have taken a similar approach to having some sort of meter that isn't based on just health or something that influences either what you see.
Phasmophobia.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that, and that's a recent example, right? It's things that will impact or affect gameplay based on other elements and not just health or stamina, which is your normal fallback. So now if I haven't got stamina, I can't swing the sword, or I haven't got any health and I'm dead. There are things that can impact gameplay in different ways that are brought in very cleverly. And Eternal Darkness did that with the sanity meter. So depending on where your sanity was at any time in the game, you would see or experience different things based on the level of your sanity meter, which is quite clever. So yeah, I think, and look, there's so many, the list goes on and on and on for game mechanics.
You got the morality system, right?
Mass Effect, again, right? Did it so well. So well. There is
one I want to mention, sorry, because I've forgotten. It's a good mechanic when it's done right, but it winds me up when it's shoehorned in. And that's so I first noticed it in the Arkham games. It was a detective vision, right?
It's in everything.
Mafia's got it. I mean, Mafia, I'm a mobster in 1904. Yeah. How am I sensing enemies through, and that's the thing. You use it because you have to. They make you use it, but it's like it really takes me out that little bit when you have to do that. And games like Assassin's Creed, I get it because it's all
I don't get it. Stuff. Why the fuck can I see through my eagle's eyes? At no point have you told me I've got supernatural abilities, right? Other than I can jump from 100 foot and assassinate 2 people, which is supernatural in itself.
I guess in Assassin's Creed they're going to explain it away because you're in the Animus and it's real world information. That's, if not, I've given you an out there, Ubisoft. You're welcome. But it's but yeah, certain games where they put that in and it's like I get why you're doing it. Like, did Far Cry do it?
Yeah, probably. I mean, they've done everything else. Ubisoft are going to get her in for it, trust me. But
why? Batman,
so that really I get, right?
Yeah.
Batman's super cool and a billionaire, right? If you ain't got Batvision or whatever it's called, Detective Vision, then I don't want it.
But what we'll say about Batman, especially the first one, is you spend a lot of your time in that Batvision, which makes everything green or blue, and it's like, well, you've created this beautiful world.
Other games recognise that and went, oh, now it's only limited. But what's even worse is then you can spend some skill points and upgrade how long it lasts for.
Skill points, that's another one. Yeah, every game. I think I've said on here before, I joked at the time, I said to somebody, every game's going to be an RPG, including football games, and I got laughed at. And now look at FIFA, you've got skill trees.
Yeah, everything is, because, who doesn't want a skill point? Can I put another point in that tree, please? Why are they called trees? Because they got branches.
I guess it looks, but branches. Mafiosos in 1904 that can sense enemies through walls. That's my beef there.
Mate, I'm with you 100%. Don't get me wrong. I quite enjoy, detective vision or different vision or whatever you want to call it. But
it makes sense.
But it is verging on cliche territory, isn't it? It's like
make it make sense.
But I love it. But I love it when video game producers and developers try and explain it away in some way. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you've got it. Why have I got it? Because of this. And you're like, it doesn't make sense still.
He's at one with his surroundings.
Yeah. You've got to the point where you're so good, you can hear footsteps from a mile away. So I'm Superman. No, you're not Superman.
It's the midi-chlorians, isn't it?
Don't.
Right, we should probably move on.
Midi-chlorians.
We should probably move on.
Right. So, cliches. There's a bunch. I don't know if you want to start us off with this one, because I've got many.
I've got loads, but I want to start off with the fun one for me. Again, RPGs, one of the first missions is always to clear a cellar out of rats. Those rats.
It's... What do you want me to do? I've got some rats in my basement. Can you go and sort them out for me? Oh,
And normally you've got like a wooden sword for that as well. And it's like a wooden sword, but it's like, I'm the chosen one. Okay, so I've woken up without my memory. I'm the chosen one. I feel like I'm on this epic journey. First village, what do you want me to do? I've got some rats in the cellar. Do you mind sorting them?
Yeah, but not just that. I go one step further. You're basically a fucking errand boy. You're basically just like you're the chosen one out to defeat this all powerful being, and they're like, oh yeah, but can you just go and find my kid because he's out playing and they're lost in the woods? And you're like.
You do see that Oblivion gate over there, don't you? But no, I'll get your kid, or I'll clear the rats out. Don't worry.
And all the while, the demon overlord is sitting there going, "When's he going to show up?" I don't know. He's got 60 hours of side quest to do, mate. Don't worry about it.
He's clearing out some rats. We've underestimated him.
He's doing a fetch quest for someone. Somebody needed 3 gems. He's just doing that for me. Can you wait?
He's waiting in his tower. Where is my epic battle? He's gone to get a recipe for the shopkeeper.
The Lord and Master on hold. The Lord and Master of the universe is on hold at the moment. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So rat quests.
Rat quests, fetch quests. I mean, I am the warrior of light. Let me just pick you up. Let me just turf over your garden for you while you're there, because I haven't got anything better to do. Get out. It's just insane. Oh my God, Dan, you're not wrong. I had conveniently placed barrel / insert item name and zero logic in the game world. Yeah, a barrel, right? But not just a barrel. It can be any type of thing that might be slightly explosive, even if in real life it wouldn't explode anyway. I'm pretty sure a red barrel shot in real life won't explode, but conveniently placed next to where a bunch of enemies are going to appear. Yeah. Like, what's worse is not just when you're like playing a single first person shooter, because I guess you're relying on the enemy AI to push them there, but it's when you're in kind of a top down, or you're in a mech of, where the game breaks out and you're in like Call of Duty do it, and they put you in an aircraft carrier or whatever it is, and you're gunning, and there's conveniently explosive stuff near where the enemy encampments are. You're not going to lose this situation, are you?
No, that is the red barrel, and that's what I didn't go for that one first. It spoils the game as well, because I will go in with the cover-based shooter, and again, I know I've said this a lot, but Mass Effect, because I'm playing that will do it a lot. Mass Effect 2, you go into a room and you've either got tons of ammo, you either see some red barrels, or you can see some waist-high walls. Yeah. You know there's a battle coming up. Yeah.
The tons of ammo ones, definitely. Or the tons of ammo in a room full of shit you need, like health or whatever. Yeah. And you walk up to it, you go, oh, there's a boss battle coming up, isn't there? Like, you just spoil the entire game for me.
Why is there like an arsenal in here?
I tell you one game which you can use it to your advantage, and I did appreciate only because it meant I could finish the level, and that was Baldur's Gate 3. In one of the battles where you're defending the like wood elves or whatever, but you have to defend them in the final battle of one of the stages. And I just kept getting wiped. No matter what I did, I just didn't, whether I hadn't leveled up enough or what, I don't know. But conveniently placed around the place were these things that exploded. So before the battle, I just moved them all to locations where I knew the enemy spawned. Yeah. And then as they spawned, I just shot them with a fireball. And they just wiped them. It was the only way I made the level. But it's games that are done by design to do it. If I do it, that's fine, because I've done it.
Yeah. But that should be the way it should be, you know.
But there's also no logic in the world that they do them. You're like, you've come out of somewhere where no barrels would possibly exist. And yet right by those people, there's barrels. You're like,
I've seen in games a lot now, it's starting to be like gas canisters or something, you know, like oxygen tanks or things like that. That's another one. And I just see it, and I'll start, whenever I play a game and I see something like that now, instinctively I just try shoot it, see if it explodes, and say, yep, it's one of those games. Yep.
Yeah, it's like games where you go, you can use fire extinguishers for covers. And then every other corridor has a fire extinguisher. You go, how many fires does this building have? Because they've got like 60 fire extinguishers on one floor.
Oh, dude, exploding barrels. That's it. It's that's a real classic. Yeah, because I think that's been in from almost day. Well, it feels like day one of gaming,
all day long.
But yeah,
all day long.
Yeah. And if we're talking about colours as well now, it's the yellow or white markers that will show you where to go in a game,
where to climb, or where to go. Yeah. There were, and even more recently, I think a number of developers have kind of given you the option to turn those things off.
Yes, yeah.
And I'm
that's
not
it.
sure how frustrated that would make me, because I turn them off and then go, I don't know where to go, because I'm trained. I'm like, now, the only reason I know where to go is because that bit's yellow and everything else is green.
But, you had a game like Mirror's Edge that they kind of embraced that and said, right, it's all white. The bit where you need to use is red, go for it. So that kind of then, I'm going to say it makes sense. I mean, it makes no sense at all, but at least in that game world, it kind of makes sense.
Jump over 60-foot gaps, Dan, but that didn't bother him. All running for 2 minutes.
yeah. But I'm like now in Tomb Raider, so I'm someone who's found herself in the middle of a forest, in the middle of nowhere, got no survival skills at the start of the game. Oh, look, someone's handily painted yellow lines across that ledge. I think I can call that.
What was worse about Tomb Raider was your pitons only worked on certain walls. I've got rock climbing gear, but I can't climb rocks. I can literally only climb one type of wall that looks like it's been piton to death, in fairness, because it was all mottled and like hammered. And you're like, it's the only one I can do.
I've got a similar but funnier one from that, and that is, you kind of mentioned it. So every game has got lock picking, it feels like now.
Yeah.
But it's like, this is also from a character who's probably got a gun that could smash the door in.
All day long. Or a foot.
Yeah.
Could I kick it open? No.
Or the games where, I can open this door, but I can't open that door. It's when they start allowing you to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can use my lockpicks on this door, but not this door. Why not? Because there's nothing been built in there. We haven't developed that room. You can't go in there. Oh, okay,
DLC.
Sure.
It's day one DLC.
We've not coded for it. I'm sorry.
We've given you doors, but the lockpicks are in DLC.
Another one of my favourites is where you have the powers of a superpowered god, or like the biggest rocket launcher in your arsenal, and yet you can't walk past a wall. You're like, I can't go over that wall. It's waist height. I'm sorry, I can't. But what's even worse is when you can jump over certain obstacles in a game, and then you get to something that's the same height as those things you've been jumping. You try and jump over them, you go, no, you can't go there. But I can see it, but you can't go there.
You're scaling cliffs. Yeah, you're surviving explosions, but like anything above your shin is a problem.
Can I blow it up then? No, you can't blow it up either. That's indestructible. But that one over there isn't. No, we know. It just feels lazy again. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, we couldn't be bothered to explain it away or put something pretty there. We're just going to tell you can't go there.
Well, we've joked about it as well, haven't we? Like water. No.
Oh my God.
You can survive everything, but touch that water. No, we're not allowing you to do that.
Or magically respawn where you originally went in.
Yeah, the not being able to do something where for 90% of the game you're allowed to do it is a frustrating one. But yeah, it's I think, like I said, it's that thin line between wanting to give you some freedom but having to corral you in. It's like remember the old invisible walls. I think games have slowly got away from those, but there was nothing more annoying than that, was there?
Yeah, and I guess there is, because developmental wise, that most stuff is now open world, or it's as much as it can be. I mean, you're obviously going to hit a wall somewhere, right? You're going to, but I would much rather prefer to be moving in that direction and have it say you're moving out of the area, turn back or whatever. I think like Spider-Man does that when you try and get, too far off of Manhattan or whatever. And I'd rather that than kind of go, no, I'm sorry, you're Spider-Man, but you can't swing over that.
Yeah.
But I'm Spider-Man. I've got the proportional strength and jumping ability of a spider. Why can't I jump over that? Sorry, you can't.
Like the game I mentioned last week, Twin Mirrors, that if you try to go away from an area, it turns you around and says, no, I'm not finished here. I've still got to find or speak to so-and-so. But sorry, I just remembered another one, which I thought you were going to say on the last one. And I get why there's a limit to how much you can carry in a game, right? But when you're carrying shotguns, bazookas, pistols, etc., but then you can't pick up that coin because it's going to over-encumber you, but in your pockets you've got 30 guns, armour.
that half an ounce is going to just put you over the top, Dan. I'm sorry.
You're over-encumbered. And it's that. And again, it's like, and I get it, right? You have to have some sort of limit in. But do you? Because you've already, like I said, you've already allowed me to carry pretty much the contents of a small military army in my bag. I can't pick up that coin.
Do you know what, though? One, that does bug me. But then I'm normally the person who picks up everything and just sells it at the first opportunity anyway. And this is one thing I really hated about Resident Evil originally, and that was inventory management. Because I'm like, I bought the game to kill zombies or run away from zombies or whatever, not to play fucking Tetris with a backpack, which is what you end up doing. And you're like, I don't want to do that, but you can only carry a shotgun and not a pistol. Why?
Yeah.
I've got two shoulders. I've got the shotgun clearly has a strap on it. Can I not just, no, you can't do that. You can only fit it in
my back pocket.
But what was worse, you were fitting it in a fucking briefcase. How big's that briefcase? I never saw him with a briefcase.
Yeah, but a lot of games are doing that now, though. So, I mean, I did a review, God of Weapons, which it kind of makes sense in that because that's what it
Although you are
is.
the God of Weapons.
Yeah.
Meaning you probably, if you wanted to, could create any weapon you wanted, I assume, being a god.
One that's coming out, I mean, this will come out after this episode, but like My Friendly Neighborhood has got a similar thing. So that Resi style Tetris element is
Drives me insane.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do that. And I certainly don't want to do it when there's a neck biter running down after me trying to eat my brains. Like,
and you're going like, no, does it go in that way? Does it go in that? If I turn it the other way around. Yeah.
Or can I make some more space by combining this red plant and this green plant to make a spray? Where did you get the aerosol can from? How did that turn into...
where did you get the science from?
Sorry, I thought you were an overworked news reporter and suddenly you've got a degree in biology.
I've got these sheets of metal here and I've got some gunpowder. Bullets!
Magic! Look at the bullets! Absolutely insane. Not just bullets, but if I combine a slightly different type of powder, I get shotgun shells.
Yeah, flaming shotgun shells.
I want to be these people. They've got degrees in biology, physics. Like, they're just geniuses. Amazing. Oh, it's just insane. Oh my God. One thing that does grind my gears, and that is artificial extension of playtime. Like ways to drive you insane because it's like, now, in fairness, a number of games have done this brilliantly, and I'm talking about specifically about Metroidvanias because it's intentional. Once you get that thing that you've got, power or whatever, or key, you go back to that area to unlock the next bit. Totally get that. Cool with that. Love that type of game. I'm talking about those games that make you backtrack or revisit for no fucking reason whatsoever, other than we didn't build any other elements for you to go to. So can you go back to the other place and there's slightly different enemies there? And you're like, just doing it the same thing in reverse. It's just drives me nuts. I don't want to do it.
On the one hand, you could say that it's good they're doing this, but where they give you multiple endings. And it's like, you're just giving me that. No, I want one ending. I don't mind multiple endings, but you're just doing that. So go back and slaughter every innocent person you see, and you get the
slightly different ending for you.
Just a quick mechanic that's come to mind that really annoys me because I don't like it in games is crafting. Sorry, because we were just talking about that. Oh God, crafting or like base building,
which goes hand in hand with grinding, which was another thing I had on the list.
Oh, okay, yeah, but that in games where it doesn't belong, I don't want it. But go on, sorry.
No, but you're right. Like, I don't want to craft shit. Give me the option. Absolutely fine. Right? You know the one that does drive me nuts when they do it? Survival horrors.
Okay.
The clue's in the title. Right? I am trying to survive horrors. And you want me to build shit. Like.
Yeah. The one that got me with it was Fallout 4. Because you had to do, it's like,
I don't want to build a base. Stop talking me through building a base. Yeah.
Well, it's like, no, I want to go, do my missions. Like, no, I want to. And it's like, and now I was like, hold on, I haven't got the right equipment. It's like, what? You want me to build your bed and you haven't got the materials? And it's like, no, you can't just go to that shop. You've got to search for something. It could be anywhere. And it's like, that's what grinds my gears is base building and crafting. So I just don't want to play it.
But grinding goes hand in hand, right? Because it's almost like you need this much of this material to do that. You're like, why do I need 5,000 chunks of steel to build a chair? Like, one, who builds chairs out of steel? And secondly, how much steel? Like, what am I doing with the rest of it? Like, how big are they? They're only this big.
Yeah.
And when you get it, Dan, you don't have to smelt it. You don't have to do any of the things that would mean you built this thing. You just go, kunk, kunk, kunk. Oh, look, there it is.
Yeah.
How did that happen? It's
You
magic.
pick it from the
Like,
Argos catalogue.
same thing with the bullets.
do you want this one? Do you want this chair? I don't want them to customise the chair. I'll just give them a 3-legged stool and they can be happy with it.
I was always the guy on, you can tell I was always the guy on Destiny whenever a loot cave appeared. Do you remember loot caves in Destiny at the beginning? Where the developers had done something wrong, and then if you did something in a certain order, the cave would just spawn shit at you. I was that guy. I'm going there. Tell me where that is. I don't have to do the rest of it because I can get it all there. That's where I'm going. Drove me insane, and still does. I'm with you though. Building mechanics unnecessary. Now, I think it's one of the reasons I hate Fortnite. Like my daughter loves Fortnite, but she will not play the building ones. She sees it as like, it's, I mean, she's 11, bless her, but she sees it as like a cheese, because then you're shooting someone and they're like, I've put a wooden board in front of me.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah.
How? I'm literally shooting you full of holes.
Yeah, it's like, where's the nearest IKEA?
Yeah. If you want to build, go play Minecraft. I don't mind.
Yeah, exactly.
I have one that really does annoy me, and we mentioned it right at the beginning in the intro, and that's fucking escort missions. I hate escort missions. Despite, like, one of the worst culprits of this is Ashley in Resident Evil 4. She's a lunatic.
Oh, in 4, yeah. There was a later one. I don't know if it was 5 or 6, but it was notorious for them being awful.
Yeah.
The AI.
And they're just like, let me just run. These people are trying to kidnap me, so I'm going to run straight into their arms. You just spent half hour telling me how you don't want to be kidnapped.
Yeah, it's like, stay behind me. Where's
she gone?
She's gone.
The shooter ones I don't mind so much, because you're like running around and this person's going to run ahead and get shot, and you're just like, all right, I'm going to fail the mission, but I don't really care because it was funny because I get to see him get shot. But when it's like, it's almost like that, you know the ones where you fail if you don't do the stealth right.
Yeah,
those ones as well. You're like, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I think even in Star Wars Outlaws, they end up patching it out after a couple of weeks because people were like, I can't get through this area. Now, I managed to do it before they patched it out, but I didn't find it that hard. But other people were like, I don't want to do that. It's fucking annoying when you're like, I'm creeping around, and just because one person sees you slightly out the corner of their eye, the alarm goes off and it goes, you failed this mission. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Give me the option. Let me shoot him one.
Like when Star Wars, if I'm playing a Star Wars game, I don't want it to be stealthy. I want lightsabers and blasters, right?
No, but I get that it's, you know, she's not this overpowered and she has a standard blaster and then she has to pick up enemy. So I get all of that. But the irony is, the next minute I'm raiding an Imperial base and an alarm goes off and I can shoot my way out of there. And yet, you've also stuck me in a mission 5 minutes before that I failed 20 times because I was doing exactly the same thing and not in the way you wanted me to do it.
The rules that aren't enforced evenly, I think, is what we're saying. Like, if you're going to introduce something and then I should be able to do it all the time. On escort missions, similar-ish, but the other thing that annoys me is when you have to accompany a character, like walk with them somewhere. It's like, why did I always have to walk so slow? Or if I stop for a brief second, they stop. Yeah. And it's like, no, just keep talking. I'll catch up with you.
I noticed this in Assassin's Creed Mirage. I was walking, you know, there's a lot of this, you have to follow someone and it doesn't have the, you know, the auto follow button, which is always one of my favourites because I press that and just watch it.
Yeah.
But the guy's walking away, but you can never walk at a speed that is equal to his. When you push normal forward, you're walking past him. And you're like, okay, come on, you catch up. Or if you're trying to edge the speed, you're walking far slower than him. And you're like, why? Why haven't you? How difficult? You've programmed how fast he walks. Make me walk that fast, and then I'm with him.
And it's always so annoying because of that. Although what I do love, where they allow you to say to run, I do love every now and then running and then stop it and seeing the characters catching up with you and then stopping.
They're like this.
Like, I'll make you work for this level. Yeah.
I've got, I don't know how many more you've got, but I've got my favourite one to finish on, and I think we're going to have a bit to say about this. I don't know if you've got any others you want to cover.
I've got a couple around bosses.
Go for it. Do bosses.
Okay. So bosses are the ones where they've got about 100 final forms. So you get them down to a certain energy. This is my final form. Yeah, where they change, you know, and it's a cliche now, isn't it? I mean, I kind of get it in some of the real fantasy games. But it's like, oh no, now you've just made me angry. I'm going to sprout more arms, or, you know,
all day long. Like, you know, I don't mind if they run off and then you face them later on as a different, you know, because they've gone, oh, I've learnt my lesson or I've powered up or whatever. I get that. But yeah, when you're fighting somebody, you're like, oh my God, I've nearly done it. I've done it. And then you're like, oh no. Because, you know, like when you like, and
the energy bar fills up again.
Like Souls, and this is one of the reasons I really despise Souls likes. Sorry, Joey. But it is that you've got 3 uses of an Estus flask or whatever. And you're like, right, I've only got 3 of those. And you get through an entire boss battle because you haven't played it before. So you haven't looked at a YouTube video and know that they've got 3 different forms or whatever. And you've used all but half of your last life bar getting through that first battle going, I've done it. Oh no, I haven't. Oh no, they've got no, and I've got no, and there's no halfway save. It's not like you've done that bit and then you die and you come back and face their final form. No. You got to do it. And Joe would say, well, you just got to learn the patterns. Fuck off. I don't want to learn the patterns. Give me our save halfway through. That'll do me.
The other one I've got with, I guess, an honourable mention around bosses is the glowing spots.
Oh,
the
weak
points. The weak points. Yeah. Yeah, the ones that like eyes that open up and then close. And again, I get it. It's a way of extending the battle and making it a bit more tactical. But it's like, you're the big bad of the entire game, right?
I hope you got a weak point. But
yeah, you're the one that's given me hell for 15 hours and brought destruction to a galaxy. Yeah. And you've got 3 points on your chest that glow yellow, and if I shoot those, you die.
Yeah, or even worse when they're on their limbs, like on their elbows. And you're going, if they fall over, they could probably hurt themselves and die.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say this because I'm playing Gears of War, and I think every single boss battle in Gears of War is a glowy point shooter. I think every single one.
Oh, no. And the quick honourable mention is dialogue systems, where what you actually say seems to have no correlation with what is on screen, and you choose. It's like, you know, I want to say thank you. And then you turn around and say, sod off, you loser.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, where's it say thank you there? Hold on. Did I pick the right one? You know?
You pick a thing and it chooses a completely different way of responding.
I would thank you, but you're an awful person and I hate you and I'm going to smite you down right now. It's like, geez.
Oh my God. Right. They were some goodies. Right. The last one is one of my favourite ones. And this is where we get to do our whole piece around, do you know what? Screw you, Ubisoft. And that is where you have just a checklist for an open world. Like you've got markers, you know, spread across this. And the other thing they do to justify it is the Ubisoft towers. And I know they're not as bad anymore.
Yeah.
I've got to climb a high point, scope out a bunch of stuff that just ticks a load of boxes around the map, and then I've got to go to each of them and do the same repetitive task over and over again.
Disable an alarm.
Whatever it is. I mean, there are games that do it, but not in such a way. So there are games that introduce these things naturally. Like Red Dead Redemption 2 is a great example of this living, breathing world where you'll come across something happening by chance. You'll be riding down the road on your horse and someone will be getting robbed or someone, but it happens naturally and it is a side quest of sorts. And then there's the ones, and I do call out Ubisoft because this is their thing that they started, where you have to climb up a tower, and whether it was in Far Cry or whether it was in Assassin's Creed or whatever, in any game they could introduce it into, to be fair, you'd have to climb up something and go, oh, look, there's a thing to do over there. Let me go and do it. Let me collect a feather, or let me, shoot this base. And you're just like, everything suddenly went on repeat, and it just honestly drove me fucking insane.
Yeah, no, I get it because you can see the cookie cutter approach to their worlds then. You know,
it was almost like the devs just started throwing stuff at a dartboard and going, whereabouts on the map's that going to appear?
The funny one about what you're saying though, that is going back to Assassin's Creed, right? And I'm no physicist, I'm not an expert on physics, but the guy can survive a 200-foot dive into a little bale of hay, but fall off sort of like a medium level building, and that's it. Curtains for you, you know.
He didn't swan dive, Dan. That's the problem. And Channel 4 did prove that if you swan dive into an airbag, you're going to survive it and be okay.
I'm so glad you found that video when we did that. Games though, we love them. Like I said, this is all tongue in cheek, and it's just
of course
we do is because we do love them. And I think you can dissect a game and see the blueprint of legacy, but also where people are trying to do things different, right? Every sort of generation does an iteration of themes, right? There's only so much you can do in a game, right?
Totally, and you're absolutely right. We, with a few exceptions, right? All the games we've called out and talked about and joked about, we've played and we've loved, and
some
genuinely,
of our favourite games.
Yeah, I mean, Far Cry 3, it was one of my favourite all-time games. I love that game, and it's not a disservice to Ubisoft. I just think it's really easy to get caught in the trap of going, "This is easy, it sells, I can do it." And that's why, we're always going to have those games. We're always going to have your Assassin's Creed. I mean, it does make me laugh when they, another cliche is when they go, we're going to take a year off to change things, or we're going to take a year off. And then they come back 2 years later and it's exactly the same with a slightly different skin. What did
we've
you
got
actually...
We've got another studio to make it, but with the same assets. And
But even then, it is all for the love of the game, right? These things are brilliant. No matter what it is, pick it up and play it. I mean, I think that is part of the reason we love some of the more AA, like I said earlier, indie focused games, because they aren't afraid to do something outside the box. One of my favorite games of this year was Blueprints, right? Because it wasn't afraid to do something completely different. And not even in a million years would I have thought of that as my type of game. I wouldn't have gone and picked it up. I wouldn't have gone and bought it. And yet I read a few reviews and saw a few reviews and went, it just sounds like something so different and so brave almost to put out there, and got all the respect and love and adoration that it deserved, because it is such a brilliant puzzle game. And I'm not smart by any stretch of the imagination, but it did get my brain thinking in a new, different way to go into that game and do things, and sent me down a proper rabbit hole. I showed you the notebook I'd created that had all this, and any game that can do that for me deserves everything it gets, man. I mean, that's just awesome.
Yeah, I think, like I said, what we're saying is, you can see and call out the tropes and mechanics, the cliches we've seen. Like, I mean, look, I said earlier, I want to see some innovation, and this is why I love the indies. However, I've also said I play Mass Effect every year, and I do the same decisions every playthrough. So, these things aren't a bad thing. I think,
I do want to renegade Dan. I want renegade Dan doing it.
I did it at the start. I have done renegade versions, but now that's not my shepherd. Now my shepherd is
not my shepherd.
Is not my shepherd. I did do a renegade run when they first came out, but just play games, enjoy them, and let us know what your cliches favourite.
Absolutely,
tropes.
yeah. Comment whatever you guys do. We'll wrap up there because we've been going for ages. I didn't really get that much mileage out of this one. Dan, have you got anything you want to do? Any shout outs? Anything you want to say?
Just again to the Podpack Brain Trust group, they know who they are. Reboot, Deboot. Go listen to me on Game Club Pod. I can't remember when you said it's out, but you've got a guest appearance soon, in the works soon.
I'm with the Middle Age podcast. I'm recording Saturday. I don't know when they're launching because it's for their next season, so I'm sure they'll be able to tell you. I'll ask them when I'm on it, and then I'll report back after Saturday for next week's episode. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
All I will say, because we've got at the start, if you're not watching us on there, go over to our YouTube channel, Gaming Views, have a look at it, and like and subscribe, follow, click the bell, all the nice things. Leave us comments.
Look, tons of content and tons more coming up. We do our weeklies. This is one of which, and we do our weekly reviews. We've hitting, I don't know how many we've got now, 10 or so of them, or certainly we're heading into those numbers with the reviews. They're short little snippets. I think I referred to them as too long didn't reads. Which which is kind of they're the summary at the end of a review that nobody reads. Go and have a watch of those. They're a good laugh. We really enjoy doing those. And as Dan said, like, subscribe. It doesn't mean a lot to you. It's a click of a button. It means the world to us. And please do comment, interact with us. This is weird, and we'll give you a shout out. And that's it from us, I think, for today. Alrighty.
Yeah.
And we will catch you next time on Gaming Views. So long for now.
Dan with a gaming flair, pixel dreams and worlds to share, joystick tales and button cues. Welcome to Gaming Views. Level up.
I can't remember the name.
Now it's my turn to say you're having a fever dream.
Am I having a fever dream? You had a stroke, Dan. Do you need help?
At least you found my one.
Oh my God, you had Blink, which was your movement thing. You could teleport.
Oh, yeah.
See, I wasn't going mad.
It's not Thief.
No,